So we are continuing on part two of chapter two. We just went through the replace function, and we are continuing on explaining how the method is working. And remember, the methods that we are talking about, they belong to objects. So when we are calling a method, we are going to be using a dot operator. That means we will have a object. Remember, we're going to have a class. We're going to create an object for that class, and then we're going to execute the method for that object. The method is coming in from class. When you're creating an object, it's going to come to it. So class of car has a method called paint, and when I call the method of the paint, I have to know what object, which car do I want to paint? Is it my car? Is it my wife's car? Is it somebody's car that I'm driving? What car do we want to paint? And it can potentially receive a parameter that's going to define what color will we want to paint my car. So my car is white right now. I want to paint it yellow. So that can be done on the object of the car that I have. Moving on with this one, again, the replace is coming from the string class. And when we're creating object of river, it's going to go in there and it's going to accept two parameters that we are, it's going to have two parameters or arguments. And these arguments, one is the source, one is the destination. So we're going to be changing all of these with all of this one. And you can see that the methods are executed, even though it's using the data of the object. The method of replace, it is not modifying these data. It's just going to be doing the methods, and it's not going to modify the data. It's going to create a new object, and it's going to return the object. All right, let's move on. So talking about the arguments, we are looking at println, which is a method of system.out. And it's taking one parameter in this case, and this parameter is a string. So it's going to take the string and it's going to print it out. The method replace is going to have two parameters. It's going to look for the first one and replace it with the second one. Method length does not have any parameter. It does return the number of characters. Let me clear this. So going back up, the replace will return an object. It does not return a value, it's going to return an object. Length is going to return a number. So it's going to return a number. That's why we can potentially put it in a variable. And in here, we have println. It says that it does not return any values. So we can check it in the API documentation. We talk about that later. We can potentially have a number in there instead of a string. Now, if we call greeting.length, remember greeting.length will return a number. So we can use that as an argument for println. So the return value functions or methods in Java can be used as arguments, parameters of other methods. So when we are declaring these methods, When the methods are declared, of course, right now we are just looking at the ones that's available. Later on, we learn how to do it ourselves. So we have the return value here, and we have the parameters here. So that's the way we're going to declare our methods. So in this case, we have this replace that's going to return an object of a string class. So the return value of replace is an object. It does receive two parameters, one for target, one for replacement. Now, if we do not have a return value, just like we talked about it in C++, the void word is here. That means there is no return value coming in from this method. So this one has an object going in this case, and then it's returning nothing. Okay, so we just saw that, and we're going to go over it again. So when we call the println, you saw that one time we did it with a string as an argument, and one time we did it as an integer. So that means what? We are going to have some method that they have the same name, but they have different argument types. So in this case, we are passing an int. So an integer is going to go in, and it's going to use the integer value. Then the next one is using a string, so it's passing the string. So let's go over this. The name of the method is the same. They both are returning void. They both are public. We talk about this later. Don't worry about it right now. And this one has integer as an argument, and this one has the object of a string. A string is an object. It's coming from the class string. So this way of doing things is called overloading. So this is called overloading function. So in my example, for the car, I have a paint method that if I leave it blank, they're going to paint my car the same color that it is. And if I put a name on it, they're going to change the color of my car. So if my paint method for my car, so I go to the body shop, I say, I want to paint my car. So first, they have to know which car I'm talking about. They can go outside of the body shop and say, okay, which one of these cars is yours? Which one do you want to go? So I have to have the object before I can execute the method of paint. Now, if I don't say anything, they're going to paint it the same color that I have. So if my car is blue, they're going to paint it blue. Now if I say paint yellow, then they're going to change the paint of blue to yellow. So same method, same name. One has no parameter, the other one has one parameter. All right, let's go over these self-checks. Again, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you about a minute for each one of these. I'm going to put a timer over here. So we're going to have a minute for each one. Some of them may be a little less. But if you need more time, you put a pause on it, you finish it, you jot it down somewhere, either on a document in your computer or on the paper. My way of learning, when I'm writing on the paper, I learn it better, but everybody has different way of learning. So how can you compute the length of the string Mississippi stored in the variable called river? Go ahead, think about this. I give you 30 seconds on this one. Okay, the next one is asking, how can you print out the uppercase version of hello world? Go ahead, write it down. Again, if you need more time, pause it. Okay, next one is it is illegal to call rival.println. Why not? I'm giving you 30 seconds on this one. If you need more time, you can just pause it. Okay, pause it if you need more time. Going to the next one, it says, what are the arguments in the method called river.replace? You just identify the arguments. Again, I give you only 30 seconds on this one. You should know that by now. Okay, again, you need more time. Go ahead and push the pause. What is the result of the call river.replace? Where the river is Mississippi. Go ahead, take a little time on this one. Okay, I'm moving on. Push pause if you need more time. Next one, it says, what is the result of the call greeting.replace word Dave.lengths, where greeting is hello world. So I have the object greeting, that's type of class, string. It contains hello world. I'm calling the replace on it. And then I'm calling the lengths on it. I'm giving you 1 minute on this one. Okay, if you need time, put it on pause. We're moving on. Next one, it says, how is the toUppercase method declared in the string class? So think about it. How did we use the toUppercase? I know you might not remember it, but think about it. You want to go back, that's okay. You can go back and check. I'm hoping that you are taking some notes as you are watching the lecture video. Let's put a 1 minute on this one. Think about it. You need more time, put a pause on it, and let's see if you can remember what's the, so remember, what is the return type on this? What are the parameters on this? Okay, I'm going to move on. And if you need more time, just push pause and